Hello, welcome to the Google Voice lesson. In this lesson, I'll be talking to you about Google Voice, which is a service from Google which provides you basically with a free phone number. That's not a free phone, but what's neat about this Google Voice number is that from this number you can receive calls at this number, and what that number will do will then forward out to any number of phones that you wish to associate with it. So you could get a Google Voice number and then keep that number for as long as Google keeps providing this service. And then with your cell phone, whether you change from AT&T to Verizon to Sprint, it doesn't matter, because your customers or your people that you talk to, they're going to continue to see that same Google Voice number because they call it. And then what happens through Google Voice is that this phone rings, and then you talk to them on that device. Showing you this service, the setup for this service, has been really challenging, and I'm going to try to do that now for one of the CIS fictional characters that you will be familiar with. So I'm going to try and set up a Google Voice account for Susan White. But I have a phone, and I have an office phone, and I've been trying this and basically learning it, and through the process I've already associated it with numbers, and it's gotten a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But here's what I want to do. I want to basically try to create a Google Voice account, voice account for Susan White, and make this phone right here, this is my office phone, have that be the number that calls will forward to. And then if that's successful, also connect this phone right here, and then show you some of the features inside of Google Voice. So wish me luck, and let's see if we can get this done. So I'm using Edge, which is not my favorite browser, but I've tried to separate each of my characters into different browsers, and Susan's browser is Edge. And so you'll see that I'm already in Gmail. And so from a tab of the browser, I'm just going to go to do a search for Google Voice, and it's going to give me a link to Google Voice. It's google.com/voice. And because I'm already logged into Gmail, and Google owns Gmail and it owns Google Voice, it says, hey, welcome. You want to get started. So I have to accept the Google Voice terms of service and a privacy policy. I'm going to hit proceed, and then it's going to say, do you want a new number, or do you want to use your mobile number and make that your Google number? I'm going to try and get a new number, and it's going to say, okay, well, we need a number to which we can forward your calls, and so what's going to be like your real phone number? And so I'm going to try and use this guy right over here. Let me give that a shot. And I'll say it's a home number, it's a landline. And it's going to call here now, and tell it to call here, and I have to type in that number when they call. So I'm going to pick up the phone. Thanks, buddy. So now my account is active for Google Voice. I don't have a phone number yet, but now I get to try and choose a phone number. So I'm just going to go with, I'm going to say Kentucky. See if there's any phone numbers available in Kentucky. Didn't see one there. What if we go with Tennessee? Let's just go with Pasadena, California. Why not? Pasadena. Here are some numbers. So if this is the number that I wanted, I'll choose it and hit continue. So it's added that number. So that number is now, that 626 number is now my Google Voice number. And I'll hit finish. And now it's going to let me into Google Voice. This is basically the welcome screen here. And so now I can start to show you these features within Google Voice. So that's great. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this one off. I wanted to have this available. Actually, let me do one thing. let me do one thing real quickly because I want to show you what it looks like when somebody calls that number. How does it forward out? So let's do that. So let me pause this for 1 second. Okay. What I've done, this is the kind of where we were a second ago. I've gone into the settings, and if you go into the settings, you'll see I needed to see what my phone number was so I can tell someone to call me. And you'll see like my linked numbers. This is my number, this office phone number here. And in a second, I'm going to also add my cell phone. I don't want to put my cell phone on the screen here. But what you do is you click on add another number, and then you have to put in that number, and then it sends you a code. And basically, you get this. It can be a landline, so it can if it's a landline, it basically, or you use this verify by phone. You pick up the phone and it says, "Hey, here's your code 123456," and you have to type in your code 123456. If it's a mobile phone and you put it in here, you hit send code, then it gives you your code. You have to put that in there. So I'll do that. I'm going to pause this in just a second. Add this phone to this account as well. Then get somebody to call me. You'll see how all the phones ring at once, which is what you want, because with the service you can just give on your website, on your business cards, be giving out this Google Voice number right here, this 626 number, and behind the scenes, whether you have AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, whether you're switching all the time, it doesn't matter, because you just keep associating those phone numbers with your account, and your calls keep coming to you. So I will pause this, add this phone, go get somebody to call us, and you get to see them both ring. I gave my phone number, my Google Voice number, to our office manager, and she should call it in a moment or two. And when she does, that phone and this phone should both start ringing, because now they are both associated with that phone number. So we'll just wait and see if she calls. There she is. Now this should start ringing too. And there it is. And I can see that she's calling. I'm going to pick up this one over here. Hello? It says from Andrea. Hello? I have to accept yes. Hello, Andrea. How are you? Good. Can I put you on speakerphone? Okay, hang on 1 second. And okay, can you hear me? Okay, let me turn it up nice and loud. Andrea, you're on speakerphone on the video for this class. What phone number did you dial to reach me here?
626-658-7894.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And what happened is the phone rang in my office and then on my cell phone too, because it came through Google Voice and it told me who you were and all that good stuff. So thank you very much for your help.
You're very welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. So you can see that it works, and there are other things that we can do, and I can show those to you just through that interface right there. But I wanted you to see the whole process, because this can be a really nice way to maintain continuity with your clients, especially let's say you're a realtor and you don't want to be changing phone numbers if you're trying to maintain customers for a very long time, right? So you give them a business card now and they put that in their phone or whatever, and then 4 or 5 years later, 6 years later, when they decide they're going to it's time to move, hey, look, Jim's still on my phone, and your phone number still works because you're using Google Voice, and even though you've switched from one carrier to another, it comes right over to your new phone. So I will stop this camera and show you maybe another feature or two from especially the messaging, because you can text to this as well as make phone calls. So I want to show you what that looks like, but I'll go ahead and stop this camera now. Thanks. Now what I'd like to do is just basically show you a couple of features, because you just saw the phone call come in and ring across the two phones. That's awesome. As you look at this interface, this Google Voice interface, you'll see that there is a log here basically of that phone call coming in. And if we come down here, you'll see voicemails. I haven't received any voicemails. If somebody called and left a message, And I might go do that in just a second. And what's cool about this, it will transcribe the message. When they leave a message, I'll actually see here, and I can have it set up to email the transcription of the email. It sends the transcription of the voicemail to my Gmail account. So over here in Gmail, when I check this, there's going to be a new message saying, hey, somebody called your Google Voice account, and here's what they said. And it'll be like a written version of what they told me in at the Google Voice number. So that's pretty cool. There are other things down here. You can see it will get rid of spam and things like that for you. You can buy credit so that you can make phone calls to, say, international numbers, and you can work with the settings for your account. Let's do send a quick message to somebody, basically a text message, and then let's make a phone call. Okay, what I just did, I just deleted my cell phone from part of being associated with this account, so I can send a message to my cell phone. So I'm in the message portion here. I want to send a message. I'm going to say, who do you want to send a message to? So I'll put that in here. So I now have the send a message to that number, and I'll put, hi, this is myself testing out Google Voice's text feature. And I will send it. You click on a little paper airplane, and it sends that message. And so now it sent that message. It comes to here. And of course, I can reply back to that. Okay, got it. And I can send that back. So it's sent here. You'll see it show up there. And so, as you can see, through Google Voice, not only can you get voice calls forwarded to multiple numbers, you can also get you can send messages and receive messages, text messages. What about a phone call? Well, let's make a phone call. Let's call 270. I'm going to call here in Bowling Green the time and temperature, and this is the phone number. So I'm going to call this number, and I'll just hit call. And again, I'm sitting at my computer here, right? And by the way, you can do all of this on your your cell phone as well. And so, like, as you can see, what phone call do you want to call with? Home. Okay. So I'm gonna hit connect, and you can hear my phone ringing. So I'm gonna pick my phone up here. I'm actually gonna hit speaker. And it's ringing for me on my cell phone. On my office phone.
The Medical Center Health and Wellness Center is offering 3
time and
stroke
temp.
screenings daily. You'll have your blood pressure checked. Fill out a stroke risk scorecard.
I'll go ahead and hang up. But what you can see is that it called that 270-843-8463 for me, and then rang my phone in my office, which is the phone number associated with this account, so I could talk to the people at that location. If they were looking at their caller ID, they would see my Google Voice account as the number which called them. So, really cool stuff. Again, how would you use this? There are probably multiple ways that you would use this depending on what your profession is, but I think one of the great things is that basically it allows you to maintain the continuity of one phone number regardless of who your carriers are, and you can forward that to all these different phone numbers for free. And so thanks for your time and attention on this subject. I hope that it's been informative.